Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has declared his interest in running for the 2023 presidential election. In a similar fashion, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has declared his presidential aspirations after months of speculation. This is Plus Politics, and I'm Kofi Bartels. You're welcome. Over the weekend, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi declared his interest in running for the 2023 presidential presidency. Amechi, who had denied being interested in the race, declared his interest at the Adokia Amesemaka Stadium in Port Harcourt venue of the River State All Progressives Congress Thanksgiving service on Saturday. Amechi has been in government since 1999, serving 2 terms as Speaker of the River State House of Assembly from 1999 to 2007, and 2 terms as Governor of River State from 2007 to 2015. He is one of the few ministers President Buhari reappointed in his 2nd term in 2019. He is the first member of President Buhari's cabinet to throw his hat into the ring, and others interested in the 2023 race are yet to make their intentions known. Joining us to analyze and discuss this interesting development, we have Dr. Samuel Nwanosike. He is Executive Chairman of Ikwerre Local Government Area and a member of the People's Democratic Party in River State. Good evening to you, Samuel Nwanosike.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity of being part of the show.
Wow, and as you can see, he's not alone. We have a convener of the Unity House Foundation and member of the All Progressives, chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in River State, Mr. Wenenda, Chief Wenenda Wali. Good evening to you, sir.
Did I just hear Chief? My name is Wenenda Wali.
All right, I see them calling you Chief online. All right, gentlemen.
That's all good.
Yes, gentlemen, nice to have both of you on the program together. First of all, your thoughts, Wenenda Wali, on the declaration of Rotimi Amechi after months of speculation at that Thanksgiving service on Saturday.
To a large extent, I think what has just happened is somebody freely expressing his democratic rights as a citizen of this country, and that is the right to vote and the right to be voted for. So it is nothing really extraordinary apart from the fact that the position which he intends to vie for is a very important position in the country, or any country whatsoever. And it's a position that that people take seriously, and I think in my own judgment, is eminently qualified to hold that office. But again, it's his decision, and that decision is what he has taken to say, I want Nigerians to give me the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to do my bit and contribute my quota. That's all that he has done.
Interesting. Dr. Samuel Nwanosike, you're a chieftain of a People's Democratic Party in River State. But apart from being a chieftain of the PDP in River State, Dr. Nwanosike, you have previously worked with Rotimi Amechi. What are your thoughts of him and his presidential aspirations as declared on Saturday? Dr. Nwanosike.
Well, first of all, like my brother have said here clearly, it's a constitutional right. It's a right that everybody in Nigeria has to express. If you feel you're fit and you're prepared to run for office, there's no big deal making the intention known to people, because at the end of the day, it's all about service delivery. So it is right, and there's no big deal about him coming to the ring. Like, in fact, like I tell people, we are proud that Rivers people are daring where men don't want to dare. It shows clearly that our state is moving forward in the right direction.
All right. We're also aware that your principal, the governor of Rivers State, Chief Nyesom Wike, has also declared his intention to be the next president of Nigeria on the platform of the PDP. I mean, how do you see this panning out as far as two Rivers sons are concerned? If both of them get the ticket of their respective parties, who do you think is most eminently qualified? I know your answer already, but I just want to hear you say it.
Problem. Yeah. Thank you for knowing my answer. And my answer is what you know that will not change, because it will be a competition of non-competitors. Men who have been at this activity at several stages and results have been decided out of those activities. We've had elections in our states, and so also Nigerians can judge us with our activities at various levels. Coincidentally, they've both been former governors. Coincidentally also, they've all both served as ministers, and as one can just say clearly, it's for the people of Nigeria to see who have done what each other have done in service delivery. So as far as we are concerned, it's going to be an interesting game, and I can tell you, Governor Nyesom Wike will emerge victorious at the end of the day.
All right. Wali, your thoughts on the emergence, not just of former Governor Amechi, but also the announcement by Governor Nyesom Wike that he would like to be president of Nigeria as well. How do you see this playing out for both men if they both get the tickets of their respective parties at the end of the day?
To associate myself with the earlier comments of my brother. I would rather not get official with him, Bambi, when he said that it's a classic statement of the level that Rivers State politics has attained, that two sons of Rivers State are to a large extent determining the terms of political endearment in their political parties. So it's something that every Rivers man should be proud of. As to comparing the two contestants, I won't venture into that, and I'll tell you why. We're at the level of party nominations, and it will be a little bit too hasty for me to start judging what will happen at the end of the day in the general election. What we are concerned with is to support our leader, the Right Honorable Chibuike Amechi, to be able to secure the party ticket. When that's in the bag, then we can go to Nigerians. So there's really no need counting our eggs before our chicken, before the egg is hatched. So being optimistic is one thing, but being realistic is the other thing. So for now, we're focused on marketing Rotimi Amechi amongst APC members. We don't want to beat the gun, but I would love the day that these two prominent Ikwere sons, River sons, with square, and they can we'll see how it goes. Nigerians, like you rightly mentioned, these are not millions in Nigerian politics. There's no Nigerian who is a politician who will say he doesn't know Right Honorable Chibuike Amechi, or he doesn't know the executive governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. They are political actors, and they are not underdogs by any measure. So Nigerians know enough about two of them to be able to make, if you like, call it classical and important statements, take decisions as to which of them best serves the Nigerian state now. We're talking about service provision. I can say anything I want to say about Chibuike Amechi because my friend, my brother, is my party leader. But Nigerians might have a different view altogether, knowing what they know about him. So for now, we are focused on the party primaries. When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it.
All right. Before I go to back to Dr. Wanseke, when in the while, Chibuike Amechi, while announcing his intention to, or declaring his intention to be in the presidential race, to join the race, outlined his political history and his history of service to not just Rivers State, but Nigeria. We have other members of the All Progressives Congress who have come out to announce their intention Bola Ahmed Tinubu is there. You have his political protege, who he has said isn't his son. Today we saw that online. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo declaring his intention in the morning. What stands Amechi out that should persuade the members of the party, the delegates of the party, to pick him above the others?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very frank and honest about it. The essence of being in a political party is to be able to influence policies. And the only way you can influence policies is when you assess power. So at the end of the day, if you're going to elections, you must be able to present somebody who will be able to signpost the aspirations of the political party. You're talking about service provision. You're talking about experience. You're talking about name recognition. It doesn't make sense at this stage to get people who people barely know. And we have gone through a circle in Nigeria, and people are clamoring. That's why I'm happy that the two of my brothers who are interested in being president in this country have youth on their side, they have energy on their side, they have experience and exposure on their side. But with regards to Rotimi Amechi, for somebody who has been in politics since 1990, he became Speaker of the University House Assembly for two terms, became governor, 2 terms governor, became minister, well, you can say for internal purposes, 2-term minister. What else do you need for somebody to be prepared to serve as president of this country? I can't begin to think of any other thing, because there's nothing about him Nigerians don't know. And practically speaking, there's nothing about Nigeria that he doesn't know. So it's all about having the political will, and that's one thing that I know that he has in essence. And not even his enemies will say Rotimi lacks energy. Nobody says that. So I think at this point in time, what Nigeria is looking for is somebody who is young, somebody who is vibrant, somebody who has experience, somebody who has the drive, the passion, and the intention and the goodwill too. And I think Rotimi encapsulates all of this.
All right, all right.
And that's why we think that it's best suited to be the best. It does not mean that the other candidates are not qualified. Don't forget that.
Wenda Wale, are you there, please? Can you hear me? Okay. Whilst we're trying to reconnect with Wenda Wale, it's time to bring back Samuel Wanusike. Dr. Wanusike, you've heard what your brother Wenda Wale has been saying all this while. Do you agree that the credentials of and the achievements, the record of service of Rotimi Amechi as governor of Rivers State, as Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and now as Minister of Transportation, stand in good stead to be president of Nigeria? Dr. Wanusike.
Rivers people know better. In fact, you used to live in Port Harcourt, so you know better. You've seen the boat administration while you were in Port Harcourt before you came over to Lagos. You know better. So for us, Ezeboye Sowike is the pride of the Rivers man. He has broken all records done to governance in Rivers State. Even the leaders of these states in the past have come publicly to say, we worked as governors, but this, our son, who is governing Rivers State today, has brought a classic touch to governance and governmental achievements. Ezeboye Sowike was the Minister for State Education. His policies and programs are yet to be beaten. His records are yet to be beaten in the Ministry of Education till as we speak. Even as substantive minister, Nigerians know the achievements of Ezeboye Sowike. The popular Amajiri School, the popular girls out of school education that his ministry embarked on while he was Minister for Education, the revamping of the Unity schools and modernizing the e-library situation in the Unity schools all over the country was a classic of Ezeboye Sowike. And Ezeboye Sowike attracting wonderful projects, tangible projects to educational system in Rivers State is something that Rivers people applaud always. Ezeboye Sowike attracted the law school Legal Education University of Port Harcourt. Ezeboye Sowike has done so much as the governor of Rivers State today that even the vice president, who is from All Progressive Congress, have nicknamed him Mr. Quality Project, not once, not twice. Even in his first and his second term, he reaffirmed it when he came to commission the special police units in Omoga community close to the international airport Omagwa. And when you see a man that is loved by his colleagues, governors, and a man that is a star player in his party, you would know Ezeboye Sowike is a candidate to beat in the forthcoming primaries of the People's Democratic Party. And by the grace of God Almighty, Nigerian people, knowing the pain and the agony they face today, knowing that virtually even in the declaration statement of even Rotimi Amechi and Vice President Chibajo and those All Progressive Congress leaders who have declared to be president, Yahya Bello, you will hear them agreeing clearly that their government has failed, that they are aware that Nigeria is heading
but someone wants to say you've reeled out.
To correct the wrong their principal is doing. You know, that is admission, that is self-admitting that our administration that we are part of has failed, and that it is time to pack our bags and leave. Because Nigerians are ready for the People's Democratic Party.
Okay. Wenda Wali, do you agree, or what are your thoughts on what someone has said? You know, that the Minister of Transportation, along with his other colleagues, in his declaration speech, you know, admitted that the APC-led federal government under President Buhari has failed, and that's what they're coming to correct. Do you agree with that point of view?
I don't know where he got the information from. Maybe some other person had said that, some other aspirant had said that, but I'm not aware that there was any statement where the Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi alluded to a failure of any sort. All he was talking about there was that there is room for improvement. He has admitted to the fact that, yes, things are difficult in this country. And he said quickly, it didn't start today. And we're not going to fix them tomorrow morning. But one thing is certain, that we have the energy, we'll have the verve, we'll have the desire to be able to change things and tell our story differently. And that's what anybody who is part of a team is expected to do. Rotimi is a team player, and he cannot, not under any kind of condition, say that the man he has served, that we have supported him in every way possible, that has made his ministry the one that they talk about the town, and you say that system failed, that Rotimi said it failed. You know, that is not the same program we watched. It's not the same program Nigerians watched. But I understand the politics of spinning. I understand the politics of trying to whine, like they say in street parlance. But the point here is that we are not interested. When I say we, I'm talking about the Rotimi Amechi political family. We're not interested in what our opponents in the PDP would say for now. Let them be patient, hold their fire. The time will come when we'll tell Nigerians who Rotimi is and whomsoever PDP is going to throw up against him. We're only praying to God that by the special grace that Rotimi Amechi becomes the flag bearer of the APC. When that time comes, Nigerians will ask Mr. A and Mr. B, what have you got to offer? Nigerians will have the benefit of going to check our pedigree. Nigerians will come and check our records. It's not about spinning. It's not about screaming. No, we'll get to the point where Nigerians are no fools. I agree that there's a lot of optics in politics, but the facts will speak for themselves when that time comes. We're telling APC people that if you want your best foot forward, Rotimi is that person. And we have the reasons why. His tenure.
Yeah, Mr. Wali, are you there, please? Okay, Dr. Wadasuke, you've heard from your counterpart, but I mean, what's your assessment of the minister's performance as in charge of the transportation ministry? I mean, we've seen the trains crisscrossing the country, revival of the rail sector, despite the challenges in terms of insecurity. So I'd like you to talk about, the transformation of the rail sector in Nigeria under Rotimi Amechi as you perceive.
Yeah, first of all, before I do that, I want to remind my brother that Nigerians are listening to him, and Nigerians watched on live channels television the speech read by Rotimi Amechi himself, and that speech is online. And I want you to do this program in favor of running a clip of that speech side by side with the speech I'm making, so that Nigerians can know who is deceiving them. I did not write Rotimi Amechi's speech. I didn't read it. He wrote his speech. He read the speech. His wife held the copy of the speech page by page as he was reading them. Nigerians heard him say clearly that he's aware that we are in troubled times. He's aware of the insecurity in Nigeria. He himself accepted that the economy of Nigeria is in bad shape. Read his speech. So what is my brother coming to tell us? We didn't write the speech. Vice President Osibanjo, in his own declaration this morning, agreed that yes, but that he is saying that President Muhammad Buhari also have laid a foundation he wants to continue. That of Vice President Osibanjo, his speech was, I will continue from. I know that there are crises. I know that we are in a war situation. If a sitting vice president have said clearly that we are in a war situation, and let's just oppose it with the promises that was made in 2014 that brought the All Progressive Congress to power. It's like my brothers are forgetting that promises were made to Nigerians.
Okay, Wale, are you there, please?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry for the.
Samuel, let's allow Kingsley Wale to respond to what you've said before we come back to you. Wale, please go on.
So let me finish my thought. Let me say, I was giving a thought, and I was expecting.
In one sentence, so that he can, because I want us to move to another question I have here. That's why.
So let me finish my thought. And you asked me a question I've not answered, so you can't just bring me out. Now,
no, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Samuel Wanusike. I'll come back to that.
Okay,
definitely.
It's obvious that promises were made to Nigerians that they will fight insecurity, and that 6 months in office, that insecurity will be a thing of the past, because they are bringing a general who fought Maitasini when he was the head of state.
Yes, I just don't want us to lose the very important point you made. Yeah, you said Kingsley Wale should go. Wale should go and check out the video. So let's allow him respond to that. I'll come back to you. Wale, he says that you're not being truthful to Nigerians. I hope you heard all he said. That you should check the video out. His wife was holding a copy of the speech, and that he did admit that this administration under Buhari has failed. What do you say to that?
I'm not ready to go into he said, I said. Nigerians listened to Rotimi Amechi. And he said that these were troubled times, that these times were difficult. And it was a global phenomenon. He said that much. And who does not know that economic recession, the worldwide? Who does not know that the Ukraine-Russia crisis is affecting the economy of the world? Who does not know that insecurity in Nigeria? Who does not know that? Who does not know the fact that insecurity in that part of the country has been on there? Who does not know that farmers strike has been something historical? All he is saying is that, yes, these things are there. We are doing our bit to fix them. But one thing is certain, with hope, we'll be able to fix them. He's not giving up hope.
Are you agreeing with Samuel Wanusike that indeed the minister admitted that the Buhari administration had failed, but that it's because of the global situation? Are you agreeing with him?
Yes, I agree now. You don't need to
react. Samuel, please. Samuel, please. Mr. Wale, are you there, sir? Okay, we seem to have lost Wale. I apologize for that. We'll try and get back to him. But Samuel Wanusike, let's go on to the performance of the minister under the transportation ministry and some of the achievements like I talked about, the transformation of the rail sector. You can see that sector was dead, and now it's come alive, despite the challenges which are not caused by the minister or the ministry. These are security challenges outside his control. So, what are your thoughts on the performance of Rotimi Amechi as transportation minister?
Brother, Kofi Bates, You're talking to Nigerians. How can you say that the railway sector was dead when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan concluded Kaduna, Abuja, and Amechi during the commissioning agreed with Mr. President a few months after they came on board that yes, this project they are commissioning today was started and finished by Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration, that they merely came and commissioned it. He said so. Go to Google, you will see his speech. So why would you say that? If you say that Amechi's Ministry of Transportation has borrowed so much that has endangered our future as Nigerians from Chinese government in a Mandarin language that would not know the terms and conditions of those loans and how they can be paid back. Even when the National Assembly came to question him in the House Committee of Foreign Loans, he told them, I am not going to answer you any question until the Chinese government release the loan to do Port Harcourt Maiduguri lane. After I receive that loan, I will now come and answer your question. And we ask ourselves, what kind of leader is this? A leader that would want to play without the rules, a leader that want to, or a leader that want not to obey.
But Samuel, will it be fair? Will it be fair? Yes, Samuel, will it be fair to say that, to accuse a minister of any kind of impropriety as far as the award of contracts for the construction of rail network in Nigeria is concerned, because he does not approve these things. It goes through a process, a procurement process, and of course you have the Federal Executive Council that does approve. Whether it's in Mandarin or not.
Nigerians, hold on, Kofi Bettel. Nigerians are watching this event. We don't televise them. They televise them. The All Progressive Congress is in charge of the National Assembly. Those who are calling for the probe are members of National Assembly. I am not a member of National Assembly. I am a local government chairman for crying out loud. When I watch on television and I see the House Committee drill the Honorable Minister, we have on record things that have trended, tweets that have trended, videos that have trended by the ministers making that speech. So what are you telling us? Are you telling us that we will forget so easily the statement made by the minister?
But the president has not had any complaint. I mean, all the contracts are approved by the Federal Executive Council.
The minister said so himself, Kofi Bettel. And maybe you have forgotten. Go back to Google. We have it in the cloud. The world is watching. So going back to the question you've asked me, as far as I'm concerned, we in Rivers State do not see any achievement from the PlusTvAfrica's administration as minister for 2 tenures.
Even with the
hold on.
Somewhere, even with the construction of the Port Harcourt Maiduguri rail line, which is ongoing as we speak. The minister was there over the weekend, and they're trying to speed things up. You have.
Hold on. It's not a shame. It's not an embarrassment to the people of Rivers State that after you have come to declare your intention to be president, the next day is when you have come to say you're flagging up the remodeling of the railway.
But they had already started.
You want to speed up things. Every Nigerian, Kofi Bettel, allow me to communicate to Nigeria. Every Nigerian is aware that our entered election move. Every Nigerian is aware that Amechi would not even have a time to look at one file. Every Nigerian is aware that Amechi has been consulting, because since they have declared his intention to be president, that the fight he has in All Progressive Congress, facing a man like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the vice president and Yahya Bello as those who are running against him in the party primaries, will give him that leverage to even know what is happening. See, we have passed that stage as Nigerians. Nigerians are enlightened. Right. We know what is happening.
Okay.
If you say you wanted to work for the people of Rivers State, you had 7 years plus as time in your hand. From the first month in office, you would have started showing your people that you love your state and you want to give back the dividends of democracy for them. Remembering the way you came into power by using the military might to force votes out of your people.
That is all for the debate. But let's bring back Wenen Dawali at this point. Somewhere, please. Wenen Dawali, are you there, please?
I'm very much around.
Okay. You've heard your counterpart, Samuel Wanosike, give his own view on the performance of the Honourable Minister as in charge of the Ministry of Transportation.
Kofi, there's something I've always said, that the moment we're able to rise above the level of screaming or shouting at ourselves and holding civilized conversations, that it's going to be possible for us to hear what the other person is saying. So what I'm saying is that there is this culture of throwing mock, here, in the hope that one will just stick, not because there are facts. If you remember, I said from the very beginning that I want to deal with the process of getting APC members to nominate Rotimi Amechi as our candidate. Then when we get to that part of the election proper, then Nigerians will know if it's River State, Rotimi was appointed Minister of Transportation in charge of River State. And I think to the extent of the brief and the mandate that was given to him by the federal government of Nigeria at the behest of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Rotimi Amechi has been able to distinguish himself. And it is not too wrong. If I said that the impression most people have across the land is that he is the star boy of this administration. We are not running action. And when that time comes, we're going to be able to tell Nigerians what he did as governor of River State and what he did as a minister. Nigerians will then be able to put things together and decide who best serves the interests of this country. Is it those who are screaming around the whole place, or those who are able to show what they have been able to do? Governance is a very serious business, and I can tell you that for free. Okay. Nigerians will make that judgment, and that judgment will be informed by what they know and what they have seen on ground. You cannot deny the fact that one of the bright spots of this administration is in the area of transportation. Let me just recount something here, please. Under Rotimi Amechi, our waterways have become safer internationally to the extent that the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, has removed Nigeria from the list of the most terror-prone seas or waterways. Under Rotimi Amechi, the Lekki deep seaport, the first seaport in West Africa, is being completed. Under Rotimi,
seems we're having some network issues with you. Well, in the while, we cannot take all the achievements, but I'm sure we'll have another time. Dr. Samuel Wan-Sike, you heard him say that Rotimi Amechi was not appointed Minister of Transportation for River State, but Minister of Transportation for Nigeria. I wish we had time to take your thoughts, but Dr. Wan-Sike and Wellenda Wali, it's been a thrill having both of you share your thoughts on the presidential aspirations of the Minister of Transportation. We would love to have both of you back, if possible, for a longer time, maybe throughout the program, so we can analyze. We'll be monitoring activities, but thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. All right. We're joined by Dr. Samuel Wan-Sike, Executive Chairman of the Ikwere Local Government Area in River State, and of course, Wellenda Wali. He's the convener of Unity House Foundation and also a chieftain of the APC in River State. Samuel is a chieftain of the PDP in River State. Thanks for staying with us. We'll take a short break. And when we return, Professor Yemi Oshibajo has joined the presidential race. We'll be right back.
In raising our kids, parents should stop playing God.
The internet is actually using the people.
But when you are looking for money to help other people, then it becomes easy.
Don't rush into marriage. I always say this. You rush in, you rush out.
Family is the bedrock of every society and the essence of life.
On Today with John and Helen, we dig deep into family values in every sense of the word.
Join us every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. on PlusTvAfrica, DSTV channel 408.
With you, we play a part in strengthening the values passed from generation to generation.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on PlusTvAfrica, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408, or send an email to marketing@plustvafrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshuke. Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely, right? No question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
Welcome back. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has joined the presidential race as he officially declared his intention to contest the 2023 presidential election. He made the declaration in a short video broadcast shared via his Twitter handle after months of speculation. The vice president said he had served as Nigeria's vice president under a true Nigerian patriot, President Muhammadu Buhari. Osinbajo will be contesting the APC presidential primary against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi, and Governor of Kogi State Yahaya Bello. The vice president was once appointed Attorney General of Lagos State in 1999 by the then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he held the position till 2007. Implementing several judicial reforms in Lagos State. Now, joining us to discuss this development is Michel Agatise. He's a political analyst, and Ayodele Adewale. He is the immediate past executive chairman of Amuodofin local government area in Lagos State. Gentlemen, very good evening to you, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right. I'm sure you've both seen the interview or the clip of Bola Ahmed Tinubu being asked, your son has joined the presidential race, and he says, which son? None of my sons is old enough to contest the presidency. What does this mean to you? I'll start with you, Mr. Adewale, former chairman of the Amuodofin local government area. Does it mean that Tinubu is now disowning his political protege, as it were, the vice president?
Well, thank you for having me. You should look at that video very well and look at the context in which the question was asked. Somebody approaching you and say, oh, your son is starting a new TV station. Of course, you know that the children you are giving birth to do not have the financial muscle to own a TV station. So apparently we needed to respond in the context in which that question was asked. So Ashwabi is very right to have said he does not have a son that is old enough to declare for a presidential ambition. So it's not out of place to have said that.
So you don't feel? Are you saying he's not aware? I mean that. But I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Let's bring in Mitchell at this point. Mitchell, are you there, please?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, do you agree with the point of your counterpart on this program? And what are your thoughts? Basically, is Tinubu disowning officially the vice president?
Well, how I see it is that, to a large extent, it is the case that it is the general public that has put that appellation of godfather and godson in respect of the relationship with Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu Asiwaju himself. There is no doubt that the relationship between them has been a symbiotic relationship where Tinubu, to a large extent, has helped the political career that we see for Professor Osinbajo today. But I believe that the statement that he made, maybe it actually affirms the position that many in the Osinbajo camp have held, that, well, it has been a symbiotic relationship rather than a godfather-godson relationship in that context. I believe that the reporter who asked the question had asked it trying to elicit a response, right? And I don't think it would be too beneficial for us to dwell on whether that was being disowned, right? Or saying that, he didn't quite agree, particularly because Swagger, that Southwest agenda, right, which is really pushing the agenda for Asiwaju himself, has come out to say, look, yes, we see that the vice president has declared, we welcome him to the race. And it is just to ensure that the right candidate speaking for the APC emerges. So let's move beyond, whether godfather, godson, and the like, and let's see if indeed we can see any upset in the primaries that we're seeing coming up very soon.
Mitchell, could you have foreseen that Yemi Osinbajo will take on his political benefactor, if you want to call it that, for the position of president? Could you have imagined that in your wildest dream last year and the year before the last?
Yes, I would have, actually. I really would have imagined this happening. I may not have seen that both of them would be in the ring fighting for the same position. I had always imagined that it would always be a kind of relationship where even if Osinbajo had declared, Tinubu would still be in that role as benefactor. But again, in Nigerian politics, as we have seen, right, positions don't remain entrenched. They tend to be flexible. And we see that from time to time, relationships between erstwhile political, should I say, bedfellows may sometimes degenerate. And in other instances, they may remain as a healthy relationship, despite the fact that that benefactor relationship maybe develops. And that also comes across based on the maturity of the candidates, right? There are certain times where a political individual may feel that they have come into their own politically and they can stand for themselves. And there are other instances where there may be a misalignment between the views of two political entities, in which case it is then the case where they have to ask themselves whether loyalty to a person should trump their own personal view as to how the state of affairs.
But what do you think? Should loyalty to a person trump your own personal interest or agenda?
I believe it's a fluid question. It's not one that we can always give a final answer in respect of. I think what we should always look out for in terms of a person's character is whether the person remains loyal to an idea, an ideal, and certain principles, such that when a person begins to depart from those principles the said person is loyal to, the person can then have flexibility to move away from. However, one should always remember that, at the end of the day, with respect to human beings, what really then is loyalty? If it is the case that, one is actively working against the interest of the other person, then it becomes problematic and we should look at the character of that person. However, a situation like this where the APC has, invited all, people that are qualified to contest for this office to so do, and to the extent that we don't see any bad blood in how this campaign is conducted, then I think it's all well and good.
All right. Ayodele Adewale, is Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, stepping on political eggshells? In other words, is he sort of biting the hand that fed him?
Well, I will speak to you from the point of an ideological background where some of them have come from. You see, it is very, very wrong to have tried to jump the process, and of course try to jump the stream of leadership. If you remember that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to sacrifice his own comfort, he sacrificed his own ambition for the love of country, when it was not right in this country to have a Muslim ticket at the election that brought in President Buhari at the onset. And he was given the opportunity to look within, to bring someone that can support the president, to making sure that we put this country back in its rightful position. Asiwaju knew very frankly well that he needed to bring in someone that would be a team player, someone that will operate from the angle of comradeship. And that was why I believe that among the ranks and file, he decided to go for a Christian and a lawyer and somebody who will work as a team player in the person of Mr. Yemi Osinbajo. And that was how he came to be. And of course, it was a surprise for me that Asiwaju could choose him. And if you also remember how Asiwaju discovered him, it was at a program, a lecture program, when he was presenting a paper. And Asiwaju got carried by his presentation. And of course, they leaned out to him to call him to join his cabinet. Then, I think that was in 1999, thereabout, and the journey began. So if I was to be the vice president, I don't think I would join this race.
All right.
Paramountly because Asiwaju is very cerebral, and he put in a perfect team, and he sacrificed for the love of country in order to push me forward for us to work as a team. So what should have been done rightly is that you allow Asiwaju go, we come to support him, and we all work for the love of country. I will make this country greater and better, like it used to be.
All right. Michelle Agati, you've heard from Adewale Ayodele. He said that indeed the vice president has jumped the political queue, and he's biting the hand that picked him up from nowhere, basically from a public lecture, and brought him into governance and pushed him forward sacrificially to be the vice president of Nigeria. So, do you see the vice president as someone who is being ungrateful and not being loyal and not sticking to the script?
Thank you for that question. And with full respect to Comrade Ayodele, and I see the point that Comrade Ayodele has made, and I respect the point he has made, actually. And indeed, if this was a business that we're talking about, I would align fully, right, with the points that Comrade has made. However, where I disagree, or how I take a different viewpoint not saying that Comrade's view is wrong, is that this is a situation where, in terms of a vision relating to leadership of the country, particularly as at the position that the country is at this point in time, it is often the case that, without having any bad blood, people may come to a realization that, as far as they're concerned, they have a different perspective, a different viewpoint, and a different approach in order to take the country into the direction that they see the country coming to actualize its potential. And if that is the thinking that has informed Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's decision, I don't know the thinking that has informed it. I'm not in his campaign team or anything of that nature. I have no association with it. But if that is the thinking that has informed this decision, then I think it's the type of thinking that should be respected. Remember that what I said initially was that how we are going to determine whether there is bad character at play here is how we see this campaign for the ticket of the APC playing out.
Okay.
What will be problematic is if it's a situation where dirty laundry is being aired in public, and you can see that it becomes a personal vendetta against an issue of issues.
Gentlemen, we have to leave it at that.
Yeah,
we have to leave it at that. Only time will tell if this will be to the disadvantage of both Shiwaju and the Vice President, being from the bearing in mind the fact that they are from the same geopolitical zone and probably the same structure, as it were. Maybe this might play out to the benefit of the likes of Mechi, and you have, of course, Yahya Bello, who are from different geopolitical zones, and Umahi as well. We'll see how it plays out. But thank you very much, Michel Gatisei and Ayodele Adewale. We're grateful for your time.
Thank you so very much. And thank you also, Comrade. It was great to meet you too.
Thank you for meeting me.
All right. Indeed, and that's the much you can take. Thank you for staying with us on Plus Politics. We round up today's show with a compilation of social media responses to the presidential declaration of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Plus Politics returns tomorrow. I'm Kofi Bertels. Good night.